Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Linux, AWS, and DevOps session. Today's topic is EFS, Elastic File System. Can you please confirm in the chat that I am audible and my screen is visible? Can you guys please confirm? Thanks for confirming. Thank you. So, uh, our today's topic is Elastic File System. What is this? We will see, and we'll see this topic practically as well. Okay. So basically, Elastic File System is nothing but it is a network file system, manage network file system. Okay. Network file system. And we can mount we can mount this EFS, one EFS to mini EC2 instance. Okay. 100 of EC2 instance we can able to connect. For example, we are creating one file system. Okay. So in EBS, right, we have challenges. We will compare EBS and EFS also in our comparison. So EFS, we can able to mount one EFS to many EC2 instances. This is one of the advantage. It is highly available, scalable, okay, but it is expensive. But it is expensive. It is expensive. But it is saying what is the amount pay per use? How much you are using for that particular storage you have to pay. Okay. And apart from that, no capacity planning is required. No capacity planning is required. What does this mean by no capacity planning is required? Means we don't no need to think that this much memory is required and we have to do some planning before attaching this file system to our EC2 instance. So we don't need this. Okay, now. This is our EC2. This is our EC2 instance. This is our EC2 instance. Okay. Let's say this is running in US East 1A. Okay. US East 1A. And this is our EC2 instance. Okay. And this is our EFS file system. Here our EFS file system we have created. Okay. Now, so this is belonging to region 1A. This is belonging to region 1A. This is belonging to region 1B. Okay. And this is belonging to region 1C. We can use these in multiple regions. Okay. Now, So according to this diagram, we have this EFS. So we have EFS and its security group is configured also, right? We have security group configured for it. So based on this file system, whatever instance we are having, like in any AZ availability zone, US East 1A, US East 1B, US East 1C. So n number of EC2 instance we are able to connect to this EFS. Okay, now we have to understand what is the difference between this and what is the difference between our EBS. Okay, now this is our EFS file system. Okay, this is our EFS file system. Means this file system is available across the different availability zone. Okay, but what was the challenge in EBS, right? For example, in EBS, what we are doing, this is one availability zone. Okay, this is another availability zone. Okay, and this is, let's say, EBS. We have here EBS, and this is, let's say, this is our EC2 instance. Okay, this is our EC2 instance. EC2 instance in any of the availability zone. Let's say this is availability zone 1, AZ1. Okay, and this is availability zone AZ2. Okay, and this is our EBS. This EBS is attached. This EBS is attached to what? EC2 instance. We have seen this, right? Now the same EBS I want here. What was the process here? If you remember, right? First we have to take this snapshot, right? What do we used to do? First we take this snapshot of this. First we take this snapshot of this. This is nothing but EBS snapshot. EBS snapshot. Okay. We have seen this already, right? So you are able to relate. So EBS snapshot. After this EBS snapshot, what we have to do? We have to restore it. We have to restore it. We are restoring it. Okay. And then here the same EBS will be available. Then here the same EBS will be available. This was the process. Means EBS and EFS both have different advantage and disadvantage. But at this moment, we can think that what is the challenge here? From one availability zone, I want the same data. What do we need to do? We have to take snapshot, and from snapshot, we have to restore that EBS in different AZ. Okay, this is the process, right? Now, but coming to here, EFS file system, EFS file systems we are creating. So we can connect to n number of EC2 instance. This is the benefit. Means whatever the data inside this EFS file system, the same data will be available in any of the EC2 instance at the same time. So let's see what is the difference and what is the, apart from that, we have some EFS storage classes also. Okay, we will see that. Okay, now first we will go to our dashboard. EC2, I have logged in my EC2. We will search EFS. EFS. See, what is showing? EFS. EFS file system. Okay, no. Okay. There is no EFS file system, right? So where we to go? Create file system. So we can give any name here. What is the whatever name we want to give. So we have some customized option, right? We have some customized option. Here we have customized option. So we can give any name. If you go to customize, so there are some customization we can do. Okay. So we can give any name. Okay. Let's say I'm giving EFS demo. This name I am giving. After that, we can see, right? We have regional file system and one zone file system. What is showing? Choose to either store the data across multiple AZ or within a single availability zone. If you want in this way, like instead of this only one availability zone, not in other. If you don't want not in other availability zone, okay, then you can choose this option, one zone, right? Then it will ask which region you want. Currently, I am under Mumbai, na? Currently, I am in Mumbai, right? Mumbai. So under Mumbai, which availability zone it is asking? But if we are keeping enable this regional, so this what is showing? Choose to either store the data across multiple AZ or within single AZ. We are selecting regional. Offer the highest level of availability. Availability means if one AZ is down, then our data is available in say another AZ also, na? So that is what we are calling availability. Okay. Now coming to here, we have life cycle. We have enable automatic backup also. Means automatic backup file your system data with AWS backup recommended setting. Means it is going, if you disable this, it is not going to take backup. But if you are enable this checkbox will help you to take automatic backup. AWS taking care of this. Then we have lifecycle management. This is three places. Transition into infrequent access. So what is infrequent access? It is a storage class that is cost optimized. Okay, that is cost optimized for files, and it is not accessed every day. Okay, it is in fact infrequent access means there is one storage class is there. Okay. EFS infrequent access. EFSI. EFSI. What is telling this infrequent access? For example, not example, this is in a storage class basically. Okay, which is an cost optimize. It is cost optimize. For files which are not used daily. Which are not used daily. ठीक है 92%, 90 to 90%, 90% lower cost compared to EFS standard storage. ठीक है now what is the next point about this IA? EFS will automatically move files to EFSI. EFS will move files automatically to EFSI. Okay. We have to enable EFSI life cycle policy. Okay. Now, what is this life cycle policy? Try to observe here. This is a storage class. For example, what happened? We created some file, we created some data, and at that time, those files are not used. So that time, what it will do? It will move to infrequent access. There is an option. There you can select any time. For example, if file is not accessed for 1 day, move from EFS to EFSI. 7 days, 30 days, right? Okay. So means if any file is not accessed from last 30 days, where it will move? It will transition into infrequent access. Okay. Transition into archive. Transition file to archive based on time since they were last accessed in standard storage. Okay, this is also in storage. Okay, so what will happen if it will move to infrequent access? You can decide whatever policy you want to decide by selecting the time duration. And similarly, you can decide here. It is available from 2 months onwards. Okay, if any file is not accessed. Now, third part is transition into standard. The transition file backs to standard storage based on when they are first accessed in IA or archive storage. So on first access, you can make it on first access or none. Okay, means come again back to IA or sorry, again back to EFS. We have standard storage of EFS, right? From standard, 1 minute. We have standard storage, right? We have standard storage for EFS, right? EFS. So from here, where we are moving to IA, either this and either in archive. Okay, these two places. Now, what will happen if we are selecting this policy, transition into standard? So when file will be accessed, then it will, what will happen if it is available in it is available where in infrequent. So what it will do, it will return back to the standard storage. If it is in transition archive, then what will happen if it is accessed from here, it will return back to the EFS standard storage. Okay, now next. So we can enable encryption at data as rest. Okay, there are different encryption we will see at a time of encryption or decryption. Okay, now after that, throughput mode. What is mean by throughput mode? Some output per second is called throughput mode. Means some input and output is there at particular duration. That is the meaning of throughput. Throughput means something input and output at particular duration of time. That is called throughput. So what are the throughput mode we are having? We have enhance, provide more flexibility and higher throughput level for workload with a range of performance required. Busting is, if we select busting, provide throughput that scale with amount of storage for workload with basic performance required. So there are two modes, enhanced, and if we are selecting enhanced, then we have option elastic and provision. Okay, use the mode for workload with unpredictable behavior. If you don't know the behavior, what will be the input and output, means what is the performance. For example, our EC2 instance is there and we have linked this EFS file system. Okay, so we can either use this is the recommended one, and we have provision one. Okay, now we can decide. See, this is payment related. Okay, now I am giving some value 200. Let me increase some value. See, if I am giving 1 MB per second, how much charge I have to give? $6 per month. If I will give some value 100 Mbps, this per speed I want. This provision throughput I want 100 MB per second. What is the cost I associate with it? $660 per month, right? Hope you are good. So this is provision, means we can customize. And for the 100 MB per second throughput, okay, it will maximum read throughput is 300 MB per second. So we can use elastic. Okay, it is the recommended one. Okay, if there is a special requirement, so as to keep that performance, the throughput should be according to like 100 Mbps something. So cost is associated in company. If any requirement is there, based on your requirement, you can select that. Apart from that, this part is done. We can go to next. Okay, now network access. It is having some VPC. Always, this is VPC we are going to discuss. Whenever we are having creating some EC2 instance, by default, something are created. Now we have seen initial day we created EC2 instance. Do we know initially that root volume is created? No. When we come to know EBS, during EBS we come to know root volume is there. Similarly, EC2 instance is created. So by default, VPCs are created. We should know in upcoming session when we will discuss what is VPC, what are subnets. Okay, everything we are going to see. Now, it is asking mount target. A mount target provide an NFS endpoint at which you can mount Amazon EFS. Okay, so we need to give security group here, na? Let me create one security group. How we can create security group? We can create security group in security group section. Okay, we will use our own security group. Okay, 1 second. So where to go? EC2, search EC2 because security group is available where? Security group is available in EC2. Click here. Come down in security. Here is the security group. We can create security group. Okay. We can give any name. EFS demo. EFS demo. Select same name. EFS demo. Okay. Then we can go and add some inbound rule, right? We can go. So let me use some inbound rule here. Add rule HTTP custom anywhere. This sidear block also we are going to discuss during IP address. Okay. Now I am creating one this. Now save this. What is the name of security group? EFS demo. Copy this. Create security group. Security group is created. Now come back to our and let me go back one step. This is network, right? Let me come here and come to this page. So now remove this and we can search our own EFS demo, right? EFS demo. Okay. EFS demo. Is it selected? EFS demo. Fine. EFS demo is there. Then here also EFS demo. We can remove default one. Here also EFS demo. Okay. Now what we have done, we have provided all these availability zone subnet IP address will be provided automatically. Okay. Now next. After this, we have to click on next. Okay. Next. Then this policy we are going to discuss in a upcoming session. What are the policies? Okay. What are JSONs? Okay. That we will see. So just we have to click next. And just create a file system. So now this file system EFS is created. Okay. Now we will come back our EC2 instance. There is no EC2 instances running, right? So let me create EC2 instance. Come here. Come here. And now launch instance. Launch instance. Okay. So now can I create two EC2 instance? Okay. Can I create EC2 instance? Instance. I'm giving the name instance. Here I am giving 2. So what will happen? 2 EC2 instance is going to create. Okay. After that, we will rename those EC2 instance. Now here we are having Amazon Linux other. We know this. I am selecting this. Now come here. Come down. T2 micro. We know all. We don't require. So I am proceeding without a key pair now. Come here. Allow HTTP. We are going to run that. That's why. Come here. Storage. Configure storage. So we can see, right? Here we have file system. This part configure storage. This is free tier. Eligible customer can get up to 30 GB of general purpose or magnetic. This is by default root volume coming whenever we are creating. We can some add new volume also, but here you can see file system, right? Now, can I edit this? Just now we have created, we have EFS file system, we have FSX file system also. Are we getting any option, guys? You are currently having no file system. You must select a subnet before you can add an EFS file system. Where is subnet? Scroll up, go to network setting, edit this. Here, right? Subnet. This is the VPC. And I can select any of the subnet, right? This is AP South 1B, AP South 1C, AP South 1A, right? You can see availability zone. Okay. Now I have selected. Can I go come down? File system. Yes. Now it is showing add shared file system. Can I click here? Add file system. Yes. See whatever the file system we have created, FS086 something, right? See FS086. This is the file system now. This is the file system we have created that is now populating here. So we have to select subnet. Subnet. This is the mount point. This is the path. This is the path. Let me copy this path. Copy the path. Let me place here. Mounting, you know, right? The meaning of mounting. Mounting means we are attaching, right? So this is the path where it is going to attach. Now everything is done. Let me launch instance. The instance are creating now. Instance are creating now. Both instance are created. Come back to instance. Okay. Now try to see how many instances are there. Let me rename this as 1 and another as 2. This is instance 1. At a time, 2 instances automatically created. We can create, and I will give this name as 2. Okay. Fine here. Okay. Refresh here. Okay. So this instance are running perfectly fine. Let me open. Let me go inside this. Okay. Let me connect to this server through EC2 instance connect. Let me connect here. Yeah, it is connecting, right? Now, come back here to EC2 instance. This is 172.31.185, right? Okay. Now come here, EC2 instance 2. Connect to EC2 instance. This is the second one. Now guys, try to observe. This is one IP address, right? 172.31.10.31. And what is the second one? This is the one. We have two, right? This is the first EC2 instance we have connected, and this is the second EC2 instance we have connected. Okay. So these two EC2 instances, these two EC2 instances, these two EC2 instances means this is the first EC2 instance and this is the second EC2 instance. Both are connected to file system now. Both are connected to file system. If now I am going to change some data here, I will add some hello world. Hello world. This data will move where? This data will move into this EFS now. This data will move to this EFS, some file I am going to create. And when I will check data in this EFS system, sorry, in this EC2, I am able to see same hello world now. Okay, now try to observe. Okay, now try to observe. We are in this EC2. This is the IP address 10.31. Okay, now can I do sudo switch user? What is the user, guys? Root user. I have moved to the root user because root user have the privileges. Echo. Can I give some hello world? Hello world. Okay, fine. What is the path? Slash. See here, I have copied the path now. slash mnt slash EFS slash FS1. Okay. Slash mnt slash EFS slash FS1. This is the path. I want to create one file here. f1.txt means what is this statement is doing? This statement is adding this hello world. Which path? This is the path. Inside this path, it will create one file also. Okay, there is no such file, but now we will see how. Let me copy this command. Okay, now enter. We have done enter. Now can I see that file? I have to go that path. What is the path? mnt slash EFS slash FS1 slash, what is the file name, guys? f1.txt. Tab you can press. What we are getting, guys? Hello world we are getting. This is the hello world we have added in which IP address? 172.31.10.31, right? This, can I come here to another instance? Let me come here to another instance. Can we see to can we check here whether this is available or not? Let me add some command ls. Can I list down what is the file path? mnt, because the direct path will be same for now every instance. EFS slash FS1 FS1 slash. This is the file created. Did I created this file? No, no. This file is created where? In first instance. But still we are able to see this file now, right? Hope you are good. Hope you are understanding. Okay. This is complete path now. Okay, sorry. We are getting this file, right? Mean this file is created. Where we have done done the changes. We have done the changes where? In EC2 instance. Means but this file is also created here, right? Till this you are good, right? So we are able to create file. We are able to move the data also, right? So this is what EFS. Now come to EC2 instance. Now I have created this. I have created this by using shortcut. At the same time, I have created this. Both the EC2 instances same zone. Na? Okay, you can create in different zone also. So that will justify the same step. Now, how to clean up this? How to clean up this? Come back here. Come back here. You can check here. You can delete this. You can delete this so that your file system will be created. Now I am deleting this. For deleting this, whatever the file ID is there, we have to provide that file ID, confirm that. The file system could, okay, first delete its mount target. Okay, fine. It won't be deleted. Okay, so come back here, EC2 instance. Let me delete because it is attached to these servers. Now let me terminate delete instance. Terminate this. The first instance terminated. Second also terminated. Come back here, refresh here, select this file system, delete this file system. Whatever the ID you have to copy paste here, copy, paste, and confirm. Now deleting mount target for file system. Now there is no file system, right? Okay. So this is what our understanding about file system and EPS. Now, guys, we are going to come back to our topic load balancer. Previously, we have seen application load balancer. Okay. Now we are going to see network load balancer. Okay. Now, apart from that, we have auto scaling group also. We will see that. Okay. One second. If you remember, previously we have seen what is load balancing. What is load balancing? Yesterday match was there, na? You have observed that match, India versus New Zealand. Initial, initially match was going on. So 10 crore people started Geo Hotstar. Then say the match got interested to 10 crore to 15 crore, 15 crore to 20 crore, 20 crore to 30 crore. People were watching. During India-Pakistan match, 55 crore people were watching India-Pakistan match. How it could be possible? By scaling, vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. We have seen one example of, for example, this is our EC2 instance. This is our EC2 instance. Okay. One. Similarly, this is EC2 instance. Our application is deployed in where? In first EC2 instance. This is EC2. This is EC2 instance 1. So what will happen? We have to configure load balancer. We have to configure load balancer. Load balancer. This is our load balancer. So what will happen? Automatically our application, this we are not talking about scaling, guys. We will see scaling also. How to do scaling? Automatically this EC2 instance get increase or decrease. That is scaling. Okay. Now this is also EC2 instance, and this is also our EC2 instance. We have seen in previous example that any n number of users are there. If n number of users are there, if n number of users are there, okay. Now n number of users are there, and they try to hit our load balancer. Okay, they try to hit our load balancer. So what will happen? The request will be processed in round robin fashion. Okay, these all are users. Okay, and number of users we have. What will happen? The request will go to first this EC2 instance, then second EC2 instance, then third EC2 instance. Next request it will go to this EC2 instance. Next request will go to this EC2 instance, and then it will go to this EC2 instance. Okay. Now, so this is the basic understanding of load balancer. And in previous session, we have seen application load balancer. Okay. So basically load balancer, why we are using? To spread load across multiple downstream. So we can say this is downstream part, guys. If you divide from left side and right side, the right side is called downstream and the left side from requests are coming, those are upstream. What we are doing? We are exposing only a single point to your application. Okay. Now, whenever we are configuring this part, whenever we are configuring this part, for this load balancer, one DNS is there, na? One DNS is there. This DNS we are giving to, not give, actually, for now we are giving DNS, right? For now we are using IP address, but going forward, this DNS will be mapped to some IP address. Sorry, domain name. This will be mapped to some domain name. What is the name? For example, www.flipkart. This will be our domain name. Okay. So we are not giving any DNS name. We are giving some domain name. So with this DNS name, we are mapping now. We are doing some mapping. We are doing some mapping. Mapping. That how to do this mapping using one service called Route 53. Route 53 is the one service where we are going to see how we provide this DNS name mapping with this domain name. Then you will, instead of this IP address and DNS name, we will understand how we can access, because these are user friendly now. These names are user friendly. Okay, but when we are giving as a technical person, we know what is IP address and what is DNS name. So we can able to access. But is it a good practice to give? No, nobody is giving you to IP address and DNS name. They are just giving our domain name to us. Okay. So, but at this moment, what we are doing, we are to check this DNS name. So what we are exposing a single point of access to our application. Means this is linked. Load balancer is linked. This load balancer is linked. How these are linked? With the help of target group. We have seen target group na in load balancer. All the EC2 instances are linked to this load balancer using what? Target group. There is one target group. I recommend to watch the previous recording of load balancer. Then it will be easier for to understand this again. Network load balancer. Same process we have to do. Okay. So this is also available across different zone. Okay. Now, so guys, we will see this network load balancer tomorrow. Apart from that, we will see some what is the difference between application load balancer and network load balancer. So application load balancer, what is using, which protocol it is using? Application load balancer, ALB. ALB, it is following HTTP / HTTPS protocols, right? Protocol. We have seen this, which is belonging to which layer of network? Layer 7. If you watch previous recording, you will find this. Okay. And this network load balancer. Network load balancer, what is using? Which protocol? TCP / UDP protocols. Okay. Which layer? Protocol. Which layer? Layers 4. Layer 4. And they are network load balance is very high performing. Means millions of requests it can perform in 1 second. Okay. Like millions of users are there and they are trying to access the application, and we are having network load balancer. So we can millions of user requests can be processed. Okay. Tomorrow we will see this practically, network load balancer, and we will go with auto scaling group. What is auto scaling, right? So what is vertical scaling, horizontal scaling? Okay. Then how to navigate this traffic, right? We will see this in tomorrow's session. Okay. I'm stopping my screen share, guys. I'm stopping the recording.